Hello. So I'm going to be playing some Demon Bluff today. It's a social deduction game for one player, and it's going to be a bit of like a deviation from the regular content that I'd want to do, strategy or city builders or cozy games, just because, well, it's a social deduction game. You don't get many of those, right? I think that it's going to fit the bill, or like it's going to be a game that I want to play because I like going in depth on my decision making. And this is a game all about like going in depth on whether or not somebody is or isn't lying. You'll see some of that as we play the game. I have played like 2 or 3 full rounds of it. A bit hard to like gauge how much time I've already spent on the game, but um, I'll know a few things, a bit of like the minutia of it, and I'll be able to describe like keywords or phrases a little bit better, but I'll let the game describe most of the gameplay as I start playing it. So there's one evil character among all of the characters. I need to find and kill it. These are the characters that I have. This is the evil character that I need to find. So they're all going to give me statements that are true about the other characters, and this one is going to hide themselves as one of these characters, and they're going to be lying specifically. They have to lie. It's not like they get the choice to. The disguise just means that they're going to pretend to be a different role. The different role meaning that they can't be, evil. They're going to be disguising themselves as one of these villagers here. And, well, I'll open up one of the cards. I can click on any of these. We've got 4 villagers and 1 evil character so far. The confessor is saying that they're good, so that means that they're not evil or corrupted. They can't be the minion, so I can mark them as being fine. The gemcrafter saying 1 is good. That checks out. The lover, no evils are adjacent to me. So far that's true. We'll see if this one is an evil one. Or, okay, no evils are adjacent to it means that there is an evil card up here, or it means that they are lying and there would be an evil adjacent to it, but then there's 2 evils here. And due to there being only 1 evil allowed, that means that this card up here has to be the minion. So you get some extra points per round by not revealing cards. So if I find the minion early, I guess you could say, I'm going to get extra points. You know me, I like chasing scores, so that's going to be something I go for. You also get points on round completion, and it's based mostly on your ascension level. I'm assuming that Ascension is going to be like how difficult the overall game is. Maybe there's more minions or more difficult cards that give you less information. It's a bit difficult to like quantify how it scales because it doesn't tell you, but you can feel the game get harder over time. We've got some new cards. I'm not going to go over their abilities because they're pretty self-explanatory when you find them. I am going to check to see, yeah, we are still just looking for a minion though. I am good. That's nice. We have somebody that is speaking the truth and we know it. Now a judge. Most people, or the people that I've seen play this game so far, when they use a judge, they'll just try to pick out somebody that they think is lying or telling the truth, and they have no idea if the judge themselves is good or is bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the judge on the confessor here, and it's saying that it's the truth, so I know that the judge is also telling the truth, and they're not the minion. I can keep going down. The closest evil is clockwise, meaning that these two, I mean, we already know that they aren't evil. It's either this, it can be either of these 2 cards if we are to believe the Enlightened, and it can't be this card because it would say that it is equidistant. The evils are at the same distance, so like 1, 2 cards away, 1, 2 cards away. But that is only if we believe the Enlightened to be true. Let's see what's for. There's 1 evil adjacent to me, so that these 2 are, they're not at ends yet. They can still both be pointing to this one. 5 is good. So you're saying yourself is good. So let's assume that they are a good character. That checks out. Let's assume that they're a bad character and they're lying. Well, they're lying and that checks out as well. So this, does like the gemcrafter saying themselves is fine is not good enough to like, what is it? Get them out of the hot seat. We also have this character saying the closest evil is clockwise, and we've got 1 evil adjacent to this. So we've got 2 people that are pointing at this position. If we were to assume that this is evil, these two check out. Let's assume somebody else to be evil, like this. So that there are no evils adjacent to it. 5 could still be good, and the closest evil could still be clockwise. So it's one of these two. Actually, okay, I made a mistake here. After I opened up this card right here, I had enough information to already, kill the minion. Now, you'll see over here that we've got two things that count up our score. We get 50 points plus 10 for each unrevealed card for kills, and we get points on round completion. We've got some health down here, and something I haven't shown yet is when you kill a good character, you lose 5 health. That health fully replenishes at the end of the round, meaning all I would need to do is 50-50 it. Because the first character that I kill has a chance of, yes, being a proper character, that doesn't lose me any points. It just loses me health, which it's a resource. I can use it. Now I can kill the Gemcrafter up here because it has to be the minion. So when I opened up Enlightened, I could have done this before and gotten some extra points. Okay, we've now got an outcast. So these characters are still villagers. We don't want to kill them, but they don't give as, like, they've got some kind of partially negative effect. It can sometimes be used to help you out, but it's not as useful as regular villagers. So the wretch here is posing as an evil character to other people, but we don't want to kill them like we killed the minion. And we'll also see the wretch straight up like this. So now here, Confessor, they're good. Hunter, I am 2 cards away from the closest evil. So either they themselves are evil, they're lying, and they are evil. This card here is, what is it? An evil? Okay, no. So let's assume that they're lying. That would just mean that I can kill them. There's only 1 evil on the board, and that's fine. If we assume that they're telling the truth, then this card is what they're picking up, or this card, or these 2. But we can't make that assumption yet, so we'll open up 4. There are no evils adjacent to me. So if this one was an evil card, it would put this guy as being a liar, which makes 2 evils. We've only got 1 for this board, so that means that you have to be telling the truth and you have to be telling the truth. Meaning that I know that this character here, no, this character has a chance of being evil, and these characters have a chance of being evil. Since I've got 3 chances, I can't start shooting people yet. Actually, I can, because there are no evils adjacent to this one. We know that they're true, so this one becomes green, and we can shoot these 2. Now it's a 50-50 between which one, but that's fine. The closest evil is equidistant. That also backs up the claim that Wretch here is evil, and then this one here is the second evil. We get a few extra points for doing it that way. Twin minion. So this is now going to be that we have 2 minions on the board that we're looking for. We still have the Wretch in play, so there's going to be 3 evil characters, 2 liars. 3 is good. We could back up that claim, I guess, by clicking it. I am 2 cards away from the closest evil. Okay, so if we take this character to be true, we can get some extra, like, good information by going here. And if we were to take this character as being true, I'm 2 cards away from the closest evil. We don't want to open these because if they are evil and this guy is true, they're not giving us information or good information. They're lying. I mean, they could maybe give them some kind of lies that out themselves, but it's usually easier to work on true information than false information. We've got a judge. So, I don't know if I wanted to use the judge yet, because what I could do is use the judge on the Gemcrafter, and if the judge says that the Gemcrafter is telling the truth, then that means that these 2 are locked as either being both true or both being false. And if I get one more judge to enter the ring, I guess, of like them corroborating each other's stories, if it says that like one of them is lying, instantly I know that these guys are the ones that are lying. And if it says that it's telling the truth, then I have 3 green ones, and it's completely cleared them. I won't use that judge yet in case there's like another ring that I want to do it on. Now there are 2 cards away from the closest evil. We could also have the judge join, he could link up with the hunter. So instead of, trying to find another card for the judge to link into, we can use this guy. I'm going to open up this card. The closest evil is equidistant from itself, meaning that this one and this one are lies, or this one and this one are lies, or this one and this one are lies. Now, that causes a problem on the judge and the gem crafter because what is it? Both of these have to either be true or both of them have to be false. And in that case, the closest evil is not equidistant if we pick one of them, because then it's 1 away from the enlightened or 5 away from the enlightened. So I'm likely to believe that the enlightened is lying to me. And we can double check that by using a judge on the hunter. Actually, I think I just know right now that the enlightened is lying based off of the story that I've built so far. I guess I need to use the judge on the gem crafter and see if they're linked or not. Saying the truth, so they are backing up each other's story, which means that you are incorrect and you are correct. You two are correct, so I can kill you early. Nice. And now we need to look for where the other character is. 3 is a real judge, so you're fine. Oh. The Jester. Pick 3 characters, learn how many of them are evil. So I'm going to pick 3 of my safe characters to know if this character is lying or not. There are 0 evils, he's telling the truth. So now it's a 50-50 between these 2 cards, and I can kill early because I've still got some health for this round. There's 1 down, there's the other one. So we could have gotten some extra points if we got that 50-50 on the first try, because like after I kill a card it also reveals it. I think that's how the score gets calculated. I'm not 100% sure. Lose if you execute me, so just like don't touch this character if you have no idea about it. And the knight can't die. Got a wretch pretty early on. Nothing's sticking out to me here yet. I'm 1 card away from the closest evil. That is true. The closest evil is clockwise, which would mean that it would have to be either here or here being an evil if we are to believe them as being true. If the closest evil is clockwise and these guys have a higher chance of being evil, I'm going to click on this one instead to try to get some proper information. Okay, learn how many of the characters are evil. We know that he's going to view the wretch as an evil character, and we know that the hunter has been cleared. So as long as we find one other character that we know for certain is something, we can check the jester to see if they're telling the truth or lying. 1 of 2, 6, and 1 is evil. So this character is going to see the wretch as being evil. So then it's saying that these 2 are, good characters? Can I use the jester alongside that to create anything for me? That's too much for me right now. I'm just going to open up another card to get some more information and use the jester in an easier sense, if I'm able to. Number 1 is good. So I instantly know that you're lying because you're going to see the wretch as being evil. So I can kill you. Now 1 of 2, 6, and 1 is evil. So now that I know that this is an evil character, this is an evil character, and this is a good character, let's test the jester. So it should see 2 evils, 1 good. There are 2 evils. So you are telling the truth, which also means that you are telling the truth, saying that 2, 1, and 6, the wretch is the only evil one. The closest evil being clockwise means that if we're taking you to be true, okay, if they are lying, then that means that the closest evil is not clockwise. It's counterclockwise. And that could work. If it's telling the truth, then it means that the liar is here. We don't have enough information yet. We have to open up one of the cards. A knight. Okay, so the knight can't die. I mean, I can just try killing it, and if it doesn't work, then I'm safe. But if it does work, then yes, then they're a minion. So that work. That gets me through. Next round. We've got a witch and we've got a scout. I cannot reveal the last card. Haven't really been doing that because I've been score chasing, so that's fine. And the scout will just see what statement it makes when it's on the board. Gemcrafter, 8 is good. I want to link that card together. Lever, one evil is adjacent to it. So these guys would, be giving like conflicting statements. If this one says 8 is good and it is to be believed, there's one evil adjacent to it. No, it could be this card. Let's say instead that the Gemcrafter is lying instead and number 8 is bad, then they're lying about how many evils are adjacent to it. which would make they themselves evil, and then this card evil as well. So the Gemcrafter can't be lying, which means that you also can't be lying, right? Okay, so then this, yeah. I can just kill it right now, I guess. Man, that's an early kill. Okay. We've got a knight. We can just test to see if it's good or not. Okay, it is. We've got a judge. We're going to see if you are telling the truth. It's lying. No, you are lying. And we get the witch. And we have 3 cards left over. The witch didn't even get to use her power. Cannot reveal the last card. Jester first. Can't do anything with that. Number 1 is good. Can't do anything with that yet. Another Jester. Okay, so something about this game is that you cannot have 2 of the same characters. These guys are all distinct, but you can have one of the evils disguise themselves as a duplicate, which means one of these Jesters is incorrect. Now, if this Jester up here is incorrect, then that also means that this Gemcrafter is lying and they are incorrect, so it implicates both of them. If this one is incorrect, then this Gemcrafter is fine and it doesn't implicate both of them. Nothing to it but to keep checking. We want to try finding 3 people that we know are either evil or true so that we can get to see which Jester is the false one. 5 is a real Empress. Let's see. 1 is evil of 8, 4, and 7. So if 4 is the evil one, then it would implicate 5 as being the evil one as well. And that doesn't work because we have 2 Jesters and one of them has to be evil. So we're only allowed 1 more evil on this side of the board. So we can say that you are true. And if this is a real Empress, then you are also true. We have a Confessor, which is just straight good. Okay, so now that we have 3 characters that we know are good, we can use the Jesters on them to see if it says that there are any evils there. There are 3 evils. You are lying compared to you, which says there are 0 evils. So you're good, you're bad, you are also good. I can kill you. And then because it's 2 cards left over and we've already said that all these characters are good, I can take a shot early. I cannot take a shot early because I didn't see for, yes, a Wretch or a Bombardier. I'm assuming that I was playing with a Wretch because this is the one that I saw. But Ba right here, its special power is that it will put one of these extra into your view. So what is it? There's only one that is actually on the board, but you don't know which one it is until you like view it. So the evils win and I lose 1 heart, which isn't that bad. I'm able to continue on this ascension. I restart the village, not this run. As soon as I lose all of my hearts, then I would end my run. So I think I'm going to get to Ascension 2 after I finish this round. I would have gotten it if I didn't shoot the Bombardier early. Okay, so now I need to be careful. I have a chance of a Bombardier or a chance of a Wretch this round. Very first one, Confessor, is good. We know that to be true. 5 is good. Let's see if we can implicate anything. I'm going to test the Knight to see if they can die or not. Yes, both of you guys are true. So if I see a Jester, I can test it on all of these guys. So we have a Bombardier, meaning there is no Wretch. That's the one that Ba added, the one fake outcast to the deck view. This guy. Ba is 1 card away from the closest evil. So this is saying that these two, the 2 evil characters are side by side. So they would be like this. Let's try opening up one of the side cards. 7 is a real Enlightened. Well, we know that, well, if we're taking Scout to be false, then they can be really far away and there can just be 1 person up here. Yeah, so I can't implicate, or I can't assume the Scout to be true and put the blame always on the middle card here yet. Not yet. 7 is a real Enlightened, the closest evil being clockwise. So then these 2 could be implicated and this could be fine. And I could get rid of that with a an early 50-50 by killing the Scout. They're safe, so that means that Ba is 1 card away from the closest evil, meaning that of these 3 cards that we have left here, we've got 2 options. Either these 2 or these two, because they have to be beside each other. So then that means that enlightened is always an enemy. And now if the closest evil is supposed to be clockwise, that's a false statement. So the closest evil is actually down beneath. And also, 7 is a real enlightened. They're not a real enlightened. So we can kill the medium. And we don't have to reveal that last card for a few extra points. Nice. So now we had completed this ascension by getting through 7 villages without losing 4 hearts. So now I'm going to get all of my 4 hearts back, kind of like the resource of health up here. I've also noticed that these hearts have no bearing on your score. So if you really, really wanted to score chase, what you could do is like automatically lose a round if you have a few hearts left over at the end of a run, if you're not getting reveals as early as what you'd want to. I feel like if you just get to higher and higher ascensions, that's how you get more. For round completion, get 50 times the current ascension level. I feel like that is a lot more points than unrevealed cards. So eking that amount of points out doesn't matter. Okay, on to Ascension 2. There's one evil card. It's a witch, so we can't open up all of them. We've got a Slayer. So the Slayer could be evil. So that means that we can't use it to like try to kill somebody at random, because they could just be lying and they themselves could be the witch. The Confessor is fine. We've got a second Slayer, so this implicates the 2 Slayers. What I can do here is really funny. One Slayer is going to be good, and one Slayer is going to be bad. Don't know which one of those yet. So the witch might kill the wrong Slayer. I guess I could even just kill here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Slayer to kill the other one. It's saying that it couldn't kill one, meaning that this is bad and this is good, and you're lying about not being able to kill one. And now when I try here, it's going to see this as the evil character and it's going to be able to kill it. Yeah. Okay, a new mechanic, and this is where the game starts getting hard. This is where the game starts getting interesting too. Corruption. Corrupted characters will lie and their ability doesn't work, but they keep their alignment. Their alignment being that they're a good or a bad character. So let's say that I corrupt. Let's open up this card. If they are telling the truth, I can put a green marker on them. If they are lying, that means that they are either corrupted by something, and currently the only thing that can corrupt them is the poisoner. So that would mean that if you are lying, you would have to have the poisoner right beside you in one of these 2 spots. Or it means that you are the poisoner yourself and you're corrupting one of the villagers around you. It'll make a bit more sense when we get some more cards on the board. I am 2 cards away from a corrupted character. What I would like to do, so it's either 6 or 3 is corrupted. This has a chance of lying though. Let's open up 2. Wretch doesn't give me any information. Let's open up 7. We've got a Jester. So it's going to point to Wretch as being one of the evil ones. And I don't have any other people that I can point the Jester to yet, so there's nothing there. The Judge. Can't do anything with them yet. Or I could test to see if the Bard is lying, but then that only gives me whether or not it's corrupted. But because I don't know about the Judge's validity, I don't know. Like, I can't... I could implicate them together, but it's not going to do anything for me yet. So I'm going to open up 5. The closest evil is counterclockwise. So that would mean that you would have to be an evil, and you could be an evil then. Because if the closest evil is counterclockwise... No, it could be this one and this one, the Judge and the Jester, as my 2 evils. And then you could be corrupted and lying because you are the corrupted character. That does work. Now, if I go with that assumption... I'm going to open up this card to get some more information. There are no evils adjacent to me, meaning that it could be... if we take this card to be true, the closest evil is counterclockwise, meaning... let's say we have evil, and then you get corrupted, and then you could become true, and you are whatever. So that puts 2 people down. Like, it works, but that might not be the only permutation that works. So I have to get some more information. Hold on, let me put down all of these again, like this. You're corrupted. I'm going to open up this card. I am one away from the closest evil. So I would like to use the judge. I'm going to stick with this set of assumptions here, and I'm going to see if the jester is lying and if the judge is lying. Then I'll shoot these two. So we would use the jester on something that we know is green, something that we know is green, and something that we know is evil. It should say 1. It says 1 evil. So then that means that he's green, which no longer implicates him, which would mean that you are incorrect. And then you would be beside no evils. This also works. Now I want to use the judge to make sure that he's lying, so I'll point him at the hunter. And he's saying the truth. Okay, but that doesn't work. So then this setup here is flawed somewhere, and I'm going to have to work off of the information that I've like stuck myself with. Okay, so if you're 1 card away from the... Oh, you're 1 card away from the closest evil because it's the wretch that you're seeing as evil. And then you are saying the truth. No evils are adjacent to me. Let's say the closest evil being counterclockwise is false. You're the poisoner. You poison you into saying that there are no evils, even though there is 1 evil beside you. You are correct. And then you are incorrect because there are 2 evils among 5, 3, and 2. That setup works. I'm going to rip it. If it doesn't work, then I can, reorganize among the information that I have. So I'm going to kill you first. Nice. And then, yeah, you are the poisoner. So if you make assumptions and find a permutation that works, it's not guaranteed. But since I have 2 attempts, I feel like confident enough that if I pull the trigger and it doesn't, I'm going to be given enough information that I can start making like pure logical deductions instead of assumed logical deductions. And then like resolve the game from there. Next, let's see what the deck looks like. We've got a bombardier and a wretch, or not and, just one or the other. We've got a witch, so we can't reveal all of the cards unless we kill her. Let's start revealing some cards so we get some information. There's only 1 pair of evil. Pretty likely if there's a wretch on board. Scout. Ba is 1 card away from the closest evil, meaning that the wretch would have to be far away if we are to believe both of these characters to be true. We've got a Slayer that doesn't give us any information. We've got a Confessor who is dizzy. So a Confessor says, I am dizzy if they are evil or corrupted. Since there is no way for these guys to corrupt the characters, I can shoot the Confessor here. Now, I can test if this Slayer is truthful or not by asking it to kill this Ba. And if it says I couldn't kill it, we know that it's... Yeah, I couldn't kill 4. If its evil is picked, he would have executed it. So that means that he himself is evil. Nice. Didn't even have to unlock these 3 cards. Feels good. So I tested that in an earlier game to see what would happen if he was a Slayer and he tries to like execute a card the second time around. It just cancels the action. It doesn't do anything. So you're given information in that case, and you don't expunge his ability, which is quite nice, honestly. A Plague Doctor. 1 good villager is corrupted, meaning anybody on board can be corrupted. A bit harder to like positionally locate them than, say, the Poisoner, but the Alchemist can remove the corruption from them. We've got a Jester. We've got a Knitter. We've got a Plague Doctor. So I should have also read the second line of text. If a card is corrupted and I pick it with the Plague Doctor, I will learn an evil character. However, the disguise of characters pretends to be a different role. Doesn't any other role than evil. Any other role than... Yeah. Because these guys are good, that means that you can also have a minion or a poisoner become a Plague Doctor. So the only way that I know that this Plague Doctor is a true Plague Doctor is checking the Outcasts meter up here. I've got 1 of them, so that means that I should see 1 Plague Doctor on board, and then opening up the rest of the tiles to see if there is a second one anywhere. If there's a second, both of them are suspicious. I don't know which one is the evil one and which one is like the true one. So right now I can't trust this guy as being true, just like I can't trust these 2. We open up a Lover, and it's saying that there are 2 evils adjacent to it. So we could either see this as being corrupted or as evil if we find a second Plague Doctor. So I'm kind of just wanting to open up the rest of them right away. I won't do that yet because I want to try getting like an early kill. So if you're corrupted, you can execute somebody who isn't evil. I don't want to use you yet. Medium. 4 is a real lover. So I'm like assuming that both of these guys are incorrect because I don't think that these are where all of the evils. Wait, no. If it's a real lover, then it puts the 2 evils here. Let's see if there's a second Plague Doctor. We've got a Confessor who is dizzy. So now we can see if they're evil or corrupted by using the Plague Doctor, as long as there isn't a second one. There isn't. Okay. The Jesters implicate each other. The Plague Doctor is fine. And if the Plague Doctor is fine, that means that you are lying because there isn't 2 evils adjacent to you, so you could just be corrupted. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil anymore. And 4 being a real lover. That means that you could be telling the truth or could be lying, depending on whether or not they're corrupted or not. So now that I know that this could be a corrupted or an evil character, to get rid of that doubt, all I need to do is use the Plague Doctor on the lover right here. He's going to tell me if it's corrupted or not. So 4 is corrupted, meaning that this is a real lover. The medium is telling the truth, and it's saying that the Confessor is the other evil character. So I can shoot the Confessor. And then we know that one of the 2 Jesters isn't, kosher. They aren't good. So yeah, if these 2 have suspicion, I know that the rest of them, because there's only 1 evil left, are all good. So I can just use the Slayer on one of them. Couldn't kill 8. Somebody can kill number 1. I could have also used the Jesters on 3 characters that I know are good and then see which one of them is lying, but this is just a quicker way of doing so. Okay, we've got a Counselor. 1 villager becomes an outcast role. I sit next to an outcast. I lie in disguise. And a doppelganger. It's disguised as a good villager currently in play. So that means that the Counselor doesn't have to be around a red or a yellow border outcast. The doppelganger can be disguised as a green character and the Counselor can be sitting beside them. But if we don't have a doppelganger in play, then it's usually really easy to find the Counselor right beside somebody. And because we have Ba, 1 of these guys isn't on the board. Now, something that I should note, you'll see up here that it says there are 2 outcasts in play. That means that, like, let's say Bombardier and Doppelganger are the outcasts in play. The Counselor is going to create a Plague Doctor, and Ba is the one that's showing us Wretch. That means that there are 3 outcasts in play. It's something that I don't enjoy about the wording here. Icons show how many types are currently in play. Currently in play, there are 3 outcasts, 3 villagers, 1 minion, 1 demon, not 4, 2, 1, 1. But it doesn't update based on the Counselor being in play. A bug report that I've already made. They should either change this to how many characters are in play not currently in play, but in play at the beginning of the round, or they should update the number of outcasts if Counselor is in play. Let's start opening. We've got a Plague Doctor. We could have Ba impersonating that Plague Doctor. We have to open up more cards before knowing if we can trust the Plague Doctor or not. We cannot trust one of these Plague Doctors. One of them is evil. So let's talk about corruption now. The only source of corruption is the Plague Doctor, but it's only good villagers become corrupted. So that means that the doppelganger can't become one because it's disguising as a good villager. It isn't a good villager, and the Plague Doctor itself cannot become corrupted because it's an outcast, not a villager. Same as the doppelganger. So we could check. We find somebody who we know is corrupted. We point both the Plague Doctors at it. Whichever one is lying is the evil one. Whichever one says that, like, they aren't corrupted, you know? Or if we find somebody to be fully truthful, we can point the Plague Doctors at them instead and do the same thing. Of 5, 4, and 1, 1 is evil. Can't discern anything from that information yet. We've got a second Empress. So how I talked about before, these characters having to be distinct. That means that the Counselor is one of these 2 Plague Doctors. And the Empress, we've got 1 evil character here. We've got 1 evil character here. If I was really smart about it, maybe I could figure it out from here. I want more information. It's a bit too much for me to handle. There's 1 evil adjacent to it. So you could be corrupted. we don't know if you're telling the truth fully or not, so we can't point the plague doctors at you to be able to see if this is a true or false statement. You have to keep going. A fortune teller. Pick 2 characters. Learn if any of them is evil. So we could do this on one of the plague doctors and then another random character that we know could be like corrupted but isn't evil. So I'm going to use this to discern if the plague doctor down here is evil or if it's just the regular plague doctor. So we pick you and you. Oh, we can't do this yet because we don't know if this card is corrupted or not. Oh, okay. Bombardier. So there are our 2 outcasts. Well, 1, 2 outcasts. Then the bard up here. I am 4 cards away from a corrupted character, which means that the corrupted character would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 corrupted character, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 away. That means that there's only 1 corrupted character on board if this is to be true. That can't be possible because of the 2 plague doctors. So this card is one of the corrupted ones. Now that I know that this is one of the corrupted ones, I should put these markers on it to help distinguish them. We can point both the plague doctors at it to see which one is lying. So it's saying that 8 is not corrupted. That is a lie. This one is saying, okay, if we know that that's a lie, I can kill you first. Wait, 8 is not corrupted? I made a mistake somewhere, but if it's not corrupted, if somebody turns, like, disguises themselves as the plague doctor, oh, because it's game start, 1 good villager is corrupted. So that means that you would have to be corrupted. And only good villagers can be corrupted, so that means that you are an enemy, and that means that you are an enemy, and you're the one that got corrupted. The rest of the people are fine. But no, then there's 1 evil adjacent to it, and that doesn't work. Okay, let me get rid of all of my tags here, because this is getting a bit difficult. So we know that you are somebody that is telling the truth. You are saying that 8 is not corrupted. So if you're telling the truth, that means that you have to be corrupted down here. So then of 8, 5, and 7, either none of them are evil or 2 of them are evil. 8 being here, 5 and 7. Because we know that the outcast here cannot be, what is it? We've got 2 outcasts on board. We're required to have 2 outcasts in our village. These 2 are... Sorry, not these 2 are fine. Right, the bombardier has to be fine because we can't have... I think I can just shoot this plague doctor, right? Yeah. Because one of the evil people have to disguise themselves as another role. So, like, if we're required to have 2 outcasts, the one that is disguising, the one that has a duplicate has 1 disguise in it. Since I killed this one, that means that the other one has to be a counselor. Now, I could ask for some incorrect information. I'm not going to. That's probably just going to confuse me more. So now, of 8, 7, and 5, only 1 is evil. That means that either 2 of them have to be evil or 0 of them have to be evil. 0 of them have to be evil. Wait, how do I get a second Empress? Doppelganger. Hold on. That means that the Bombardier might not be safe. And the Doppelganger is down here. They were disguising themselves as a good villager currently in play, but they got corrupted. Does it count as, like, villager corrupted, or does it count as villager good and then a 3rd tag of corrupted? Because what I'm trying to, like, assume is that this Empress is a doppelganger that is telling the truth. You're the one that got corrupted. Of 4, 5, and 1, there's only 1 evil. That checks out. Of 8, 7, and 5, there's 1 evil. That doesn't. You're saying that of 2 and 5, there's 1 evil, and that's true. We know that to be a false statement, so I can shoot you. Our corruption's down here. There's no other corruptions to go around. Okay. So an assumption that I made is that when you have a character disguise themselves as a plague doctor, it adds another corrupted to the pool. It doesn't. There's only 1 corrupted player on the board. Good to know. A drunk. I disguise as a random, not in play villager. I am corrupted. I lie. I cannot be cured. The drunk, my least favorite card by far. And a druid can do something similar to the jester, but with outcasts instead of evil characters. Um, so the drunk, the not in play, I figured out in play to be any card on the board. Not what you've revealed so far, just anything on the board. So the drunk is never going to duplicate another character. If they do, the other character is disguised as a village, or sorry, the other character is a evil character in disguise of something. So like, let's say I've got two druids on the board. The first one could be what is it, a evil character, and the second one could be a drunk. If there's like two characters on board, you can I guess you can't assume it to be a drunk, because then one of them could be a regular character, not a drunk, and then the second one could be the evil character. You can't take any information from it. Okay, so we've got Ba giving us an extra yellow somewhere, so a drunk might not even be here. But we won't be able to tell that unless we see either a plague doctor or a bombardier. If we see either of these on board, we know that there's a drunk. If we see no yellows on board, we know that there's one drunk. We've got one source of corruption if we've got the drunk on the board, two sources of corruption with a poisoner. So that means that there could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lies total of a nine-person village. A bit difficult. Okay, bombardier. Instantly, we know that the drunk is not in play, which is very nice. We've only got 4 liars. We also know that the plague doctor isn't in play. Sorry, that's another source of corruption. So one of these could have made it up to 5. So we get the bombardier where it's only 4 lies. These guys and the one that the poisoner's beside. The empress, not any information there yet. I am dizzy. So this is either evil or it's corrupted and the poisoner is beside it. And if this one is evil, then it can corrupt either of these two. It doesn't have to corrupt the prince or the empress. We're going to need some more information. I don't want to reveal this card because it's more likely than not to be a poisoner or a corrupted card, giving me false information. You've got a fortune teller. We can decide between the bombardier, which we know can't be evil because we're required to have one outcast. We need to open up all the other cards to make sure that there is no second bombardier somewhere. Do I just do that and like sacrifice the points? I'll do it slowly. There's only one pair of evil. I don't think I can use that for... maybe I could. I think I'd go too far down a rabbit hole. It would take me too long to figure it out. The closest evil is counterclockwise. Again, difficult information to parse. I'm going to keep going. 5 is good. Difficult information to parse. We'll keep going. I've cured 0 corruptions. And I think we said that the poisoner is the only one corrupting. So that means that you are either lying, you're an enemy, and the poisoner is in one of these 2 spots to be able to corrupt these guys. And then there would be 1 corruption for you to cure, or you're just telling the truth. Let's open up 4. We've got a second confessor. Okay, so one of these is evil. One of them is corrupted instead. Let's say that you are evil. You could corrupt the... No. Can we have 2 enemies take on the same person? Because like what I'm thinking is that if we have to have a disguise... Hold on. What's the text on disguise say? Pretends to be a different role. Okay, so we have the chance of both of these being enemies and this guy being a... what is it, like... poisoned? That's the corruption? 1 of 9, 3, and 4. Does that stop any of us? 5 is good. That lines up. The closest evil is clockwise, meaning that we would have to have this last one being evil. But then it wouldn't be lying because only 1 of 9, 3, and 4, isn't it? So it's not this setup. So it's not both of the confessors. We've ran into a contradiction. It's not both of the confessors being evil. That means that one of them is. If I knew for certain that this fortune teller was telling the truth, I'm kind of inclined to believe that it is. I kind of want to go on that assumption. If it's wrong, I can like reorganize my logic around it. I'm going to ask which of the confessors it thinks is evil. We know that you are good 100% of the time because you're the only outcast on board. So I'm going to fortune teller, the first confessor, and the bombardier. It says that you are not evil. So I'm going to assume that you're the poisoner. You're the one that got corrupted to say you're dizzy. So I'm going to shoot you. You're the... Now I need to rethink. Okay. There's no two sources of corruption, right? Right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, the drunk can't be on board because we're only allowed one outcast, and that's the bombardier here. Unless, okay, maybe there's a drunk on board and the bombardier is like one of the evils hiding as the bombardier. I don't want to run off that assumption though. No, I should. Okay, this is going to be hard then. Closest evil is counterclockwise. Let's assume you to be lying, which then means this would have to be evil, or this. So if you're lying, you're evil. I guess, what is it? The closest evil doesn't have to be counterclockwise. Hold on. Does closest mean, like, does it count itself? Or does it only count things away from it? Not something I've been able to test yet. I don't want to just say that I'm going to guess off of vibes and go for the confessor, because it would just make like the next round easier. I should sit and like stew on the situation a little bit longer, see if anything comes to me. Let's say that you're true and you didn't have any corruptions to cure. You could be evil, and then one of 3, 9, and 1, none of those would be evil, or 2 of them would have to be evil, but 2 of them can't be evil anymore because we said you to be good and you were already done. So then 0 of them are evil, which means that you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, like this. If you've cured 0 corruptions, the only way for you to be lying is for you to be evil. We've got 1 evil person on the board, 2 evil people on the board. Of 4 and 1, are they evil? False. That would put you as being true, so then you would have to be the last one. There's a pair of evil. That's not this. The closest evil is counterclockwise, but you are lying, saying that 5 is good. So this doesn't work. We know that you can't be good then. That means that you either got corrupted or you're evil. But you can't have been corrupted because the confessor down here is already corrupted, so you are evil. Right? But if it's evil, then it would say that it cured a corruption, and it can't cure a corruption because we don't have any other forms of corruption in the deck. Yeah, because we'd see a base plague doctor otherwise. So wait, you have to be telling the truth. Ah, I made an assumption here that this was an evil character. So then that means that you have to be a good character, and 1 of 9, 3, and 1 is evil. No, but that doesn't work. So you would have to be wrong. They're all right. Did I make an assumption down here saying that like this should be evil? Well, they have to be if they're the last corrupted one, unless they're the drunk. This is the drunk down here. That was the flaw in my mistake. So they can just be corrupted from the drunk's natural state. Which, wait, would implicate the bombardier instead of the empress, because this is the outcast that we have on board. This is somebody that we don't believe anymore. Between 4 and 1, are they evil? It's saying false. 4 and 1. That would make you a liar because we've assumed you to be evil. And that would make you a liar because we've assumed the fortune teller is false, and you're saying that the fortune teller is good. So you're safe, The closest evil is counterclockwise. You're also lying. That's 4 people. This doesn't work out. All right, there's a flaw somewhere in the logic. I just don't know where. Running off of the assumption that the confessor is dizzy because they're corrupted implicates this person, like I said before, which then means that you're fine, which implicates you, which implicates you, which implicates you. That's wrong. So that means that the confessor can't be, but like I think, hold on. I've put a green tag on this, and I don't know if that's true. Let me do it without the green tag there. If you're corrupted, then that means that you would have to be false. Then one of them is evil. You could be false, and the alchemist here could be false. No, sorry. Let me do it from this side instead, where the fortune teller sees that the bombardier is false. And this is the first thing that I get from making this assumption here, that they are the drunk instead. The bombardier has to be not an outcast, and the only way that they have the yellow border around them is if they're somebody disguised into being an outcast, which the only people that have disguise are enemies currently. So then I have you being implicated because there is an evil character here and you're lying, and then I have you implicated because there's a character here and you're lying. So if this character can't be corrupted, because that also implicates you, the closest evil is not counterclockwise, it's above you. That means that you have to be evil. Otherwise, you'd be saying, I'm good, so I can kill you. That was such a long way to say that the poisoner is the one that's corrupting this. You know, I just, like... I guess the poisoner could have been the one up here instead. Okay, now that we know that the poisoner is here, I think that gets rid of all the sources of corruption. Yes? No, because there could be a drunk on board, right? So then I have to go through everybody, assuming them to be a drunk first. So hold on. 4-1 being evil, there is an evil character down here, which implicates you, right? Then you're fine. Of 9, 3, and 1, there's one evil. That means that you're corrupted and you're a drunk. Or that means that you could be a corrupted and are drunk. And that means that you're fine. That means that the closest evil being counterclockwise could be that you are evil. You've claimed nothing, and you are evil of 9, 3, and 1. 9, 3, and 1 are all safe. I like this setup. It doesn't give me, like, full confidence, because, like, this is just one of the permutations that works. Like, I could maybe find another one that fits, but I like this. Actually, what I can do is, let me open up the cards to make sure that this is correct. The drunk here. When I kill them, I receive 4 damage instead of 5 if I execute them. So I can make certain that I'm, like, good. Like, I can break the 50-50 here. Or not the 50-50, but, like, see if this is a correct line of reasoning by seeing if this is a drunk. Because that's what everything was hinging on, was the fortune teller being a drunk instead of an evil. And it loses me 4 HP, which is not my max. So I kill them. They're the drunk. That means that the setup has to hold. So I can... Never mind. I forgot that the drunk means that the bombardier is on board. Or sorry, the bombardier on board is being disguised. So then this one has to be... let me click out of that. This one has to be evil, which then means that there isn't any pairs of evil. Or no, this one could be good and this one could be lying. But in that case, of 9, 3, and 1... you would have to be telling the truth, so then it has to flip over to this side instead, and then yes. Okay, well, I ran out of health on this round. Maybe I will get the next run without opening up all the cards, and I get more points. Not inherently a bad thing to lose a run. I'm not too jibbed about it. We've got a Plague Doctor if he's on board, because Bob might be not putting him on board, and a Poisoner as our sources of corruption, and then of course our evils. So a Knight can't die, but it can if it's corrupted. So we need to be wary about that. We've got a Confessor who is corrupted or evil. We've got a Druid who will look to see if there's outcasts. Now, because we don't need to like Dowsing Rod for a a drunk anywhere, we don't need to like use the Druid to try to find them. We can just use the Druid on the Plague Doctor to see if the Druid itself is lying. Plague Doctor or the Bombardier, whichever one shows up. I'll open up more cards. I am 2 cards away from the closest evil. Not enough information for me to work off of this. We've got 2 Druids, which implicates one of them. So that could mean that this is the Poisoner and this is the Corrupted. Or it could mean that this is the Poisoner and this is the Corrupted. I can't. There's no way that I can put it out yet. But I am going to put Suspicion on both of them. We have a Jester. We have a Slayer. I need to see the last outcast has to be here, by the way. Now, it could be Plague Doctor or it could be Bombardier, but I'm going to, before I open up this card, see if I can crack it without opening it, because I know that this card is the outcast. These guys, doesn't matter what other cards I pick, should say that there is, a card here, and then this Druid should say that there is no card. There's no outcast here. Because I know this card to be an outcast, you're telling the truth, you're lying, I can shoot you. You're a Poisoner, so I know that you're safe because you're corrupted. So instead of leaving this tag, I'm going to say that the Confessor is fine. Now, there are 2 more people that are lying. You are telling... You could be lying, and then you could be lying. One of 6, 9, or 5 is evil. We've cleared 9, and we've cleared 6 of any suspicion. Right, because this outcast has to be the outcast. It can't be somebody that's disguising themselves as it. So 6 is clear. 9 is clear. That would implicate 5, but if we implicate 5, we have to implicate the Empress because it would have to be lying, and the only way for it to lie is to say, like, I'm 1 card away from the closest person. So both of these characters are fine. So now I have 2 people left to kill and 3 people to choose between. So I could just start chopping off heads, or I can use the Slayer to chop off heads for me. Before that, I can also just use the Jester straight up on 3 people that I know are true. It says that there are 0 evils, so he's fine. So then the Slayer and the Knight are both the enemies. So let me try on the Knight first. Corrupted. Oh, because of the Plague Doctor. Wait, if it's corrupted because of the Plague Doctor... Hold on, could this be corrupted and this be an enemy? I think I have to backspace, like, everything. Give me a second. Not a second, a lot of them. The Slayer could accidentally kill someone. I didn't do this earlier. The Slayer can be pointed at the Poisoner to see if he's going to kill him. You couldn't kill 3. Yeah, you're an enemy. Okay, so now I have 1 more enemy to deal with. You are safe because you're the outcast. You are safe because you've been corrupted and I see you as dead. We've got the 2 enemies here, which means that one of these guys, one of these 4, is the last enemy. Among 6, 5, and 4, there are 0 evils, is what he says. I can't implicate anybody yet. I should take this tag off. Don't know why it was there. Wait, of 6, 9, or 4? 6, 9, 5. Right, I think this was a double implication, right? And then this implied somebody. So instead of the... Hold on. 1 is evil, 6, 9, or 5. You could be poisoned and lying, and then that means that there are 0 evil between all of them. So then you are fine, you are fine, you are fine. You're telling the truth. You were telling the truth about the Plague Doctor. We already know that from the beginning. That's somebody I can put down. And then between 6, 5, and 4, there are no evils. So you got corrupted, and then you are the enemy. Nice. Okay, 1 more village to go. Puka. Villagers adjacent to me are corrupted. That's a lot of lying. That is a lot of lying. So we've got a poisoner and Puka. We've got a max of 3 people that can be corrupted. If a poisoner is like beside the thing that Puka is also hitting, then it's only going to be 2. But if we have 3 people that are corrupted and 3 evils, there's a max of 6 people lying on this board. That's a lot. 8 is a real hunter. I don't know if I should even like try to follow the train of thought here, because it's going to be hard. Like, it's more likely than them not. They're more likely corrupted or evil than good. Anybody that I see, I should honestly take at face value that they're lying, because it's statistically more probable. So let's say that you are lying, which means that you're not a real hunter, so you're also lying, which means that both of these guys are true. So when I look at them for true information, we've got an alchemist curing 0 corruption, so that would be crazy if that's the case. Confessor, that is dizzy, which means that you would have to be evil. Okay, so the alchemist, I'm going to use my hit early here to be able to get some like good early information. The alchemist won't cure corruption of an evil character, so this guy should be evil. But if the alchemist itself is somebody that has been evil, then it means that the confessor has been made corrupted. So it's a 50-50 between one of these two being an enemy. So if I take a shot in the dark here, I'm at least getting 1 enemy. So I kill the minion. So that means that you still have a chance of being, like incorrect about this card over here. 1 evil is adjacent to you. So then let's say that there is an evil here, and then 8 is not a real hunter. Wait, no, you are 1 away from the closest evil. Unless you yourself are, no, because if you yourself are an evil, I think it still counts like the closest to you. It doesn't say I am 0 cards away from the closest evil if you yourself are an evil. Yeah, because that would be outing you right away, because it's the only thing that you... Hard to explain. I'm going to say that the hunter, based off of vibes, is green. Take me at face value. He's good. Which then means that you are good as well. If you've cured 0 corruptions, that means that you would also... You could be an enemy, and there could be 0 evils adjacent to you, because there is a poisoner and a puka down here that are giving corruptions to these cards. It's a possibility, but it's not something I should mark down yet. Bombardier. So the we've only got 1 outcast on board, so we have a chance of drawing either of these 2, but we just don't know which one until we do. Enlightened. The closest evil is counterclockwise, so that would mean that we'd have to have an evil here and an evil here. They're not adjacent to any evils, and this one could corrupt this card. It works out so far. We've got a wretch, which the closest evil being counterclockwise, it's going to see this as being an evil. So it's either clockwise or equidistant of these 2 being evil. So this guy has to be lying. But they could just be corrupted. Oh, and because these are 2 outcasts on board and we're expecting 1 outcast with no way to generate more, one of these 2 is evil. So I put suspicion on both of them. And if one of them 2 is evil, it's a poisoner or puka, which is likely to corrupt this. So this is likely to be a good card. Can't put it down exactly yet, but it's a possibility. A judge. Let's see if they're lying or not by asking one of the good people. Or we'd only get if it's corrupted or not, I guess. It's lying, so you're corrupted. Okay. So to make this work with everybody being corrupted, you would have to be... Oh, I could do this. Okay, if you are Puka, then that means that you are corrupted, and it would put another evil up here, but we would need the other evil down here to be able to give you the corruption. So that means that you can't be evil, right? Because I don't know if you can corrupt a Bombardier. Maybe it's just you don't lose if you execute me, which is pretty funny. But I'm going to kill the Wretch on vibes of saying that it is most likely Puka. Nope, it is not. which does mean that the Bombardier is what is it? Our non-outcast for this round, so I can kill it safely. It's a poisoner, which means that it poisoned over here, and then Puka could be this card right here, right? Let me just... Okay, so the poisoner hits this one, Puka's over here. It doesn't matter if it hits this card or not. If Puka is here, then it would corrupt this card, which we know isn't the case. So it has to be not this card. And you are saying that there's only one evil adjacent to you. That is true. So it's between these two now. I think this is a full 50-50 because this poisoner is hitting this card right here, and that's making it corrupted or evil, and this judge right here is corrupted or evil. So hitting that 50-50... No, it's not the 50-50 that ruined me. It's hitting the wretch here that ruined me. Got lucky. I did get lucky. Oh, I wonder if that text comes up every time it, like, the text that you're getting rid of a 50-50. Interesting. That's something I'll have to look out for in the next video. But that's what I'm going to call it. It's quite a lot of deductions. More cards coming next time.